Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast. I'm Levi, and today is the first episode. And so I'm going to be sharing my testimony. Going to be kind of letting y'all in, see what my life has been like and what God's done in my life and the amazing transformation. And so testimony literally means that the same thing that He did for me, He can do for you, and even in a greater way. So I want y'all listening today to just latch on and grab onto what I'm saying and what God's done for me, because I know He can do much greater for you. And so with that being said, I guess we'll just hop right into it. I'm Levi. I'm out in North Carolina. I'm 20 years old. I'm on fire for Jesus. I love Jesus. And so I haven't always been like that, though. And we'll get into that a little bit. But I was born again whenever I was 8. Born again when I was 8, but I would say that I wasn't actually born again and actually on fire for Jesus up until the point of 18. I feel like I've heard a lot of people with that same story. I actually grew up as a pastor's kid. And so, I know lots of people have talked about this too, but growing up as a pastor's kid, sometimes you're not necessarily introduced into relationship. Sometimes you're introduced into religion, and that was the case for me. And so at a young age and up until, like I said, the point of 18, I really never had a true relationship with God. There were spurts here and there of relationship with Him, and kind of wanted to get on fire for Him, but it never turned into anything. And so throughout all that, baseball was what really was one of the main hiccups. And so I guess we'll kind of just dive in on that. Ever since age of 8 or 9, I've always wanted to play Major League Baseball. And so it wasn't anything really serious up until 8th grade year, where I actually was homeschooled, and then I went to public school to go play baseball. And didn't make the 8th grade team, didn't make the 9th grade team whenever I went to high school. And then I actually didn't even play throughout all of high school. I worked really hard, worked all the time. It was a lot of hours, and it became something that I really loved and I truly put all my time and effort into. Lots of people would see that as a good thing. Lots of people would be like, "Oh yeah, good job, Levi. I see you working out there. I see you doing all this stuff behind the scenes whenever no one's watching." Well, that's great, but how much do we know that these physical things, the physical skill, the talent, all these physical things, they pass away, they rot away. These are not eternal. And so what that caused me to do was put baseball as an idol. In reality, I was always saying and I was always believing in my heart, for the most part, because I wasn't fully believing, or else I would be living it, that I was playing baseball for the kingdom. I was wanting to play baseball and use that platform of Major League Baseball for the kingdom of God. But in reality, I wasn't living that. We can talk all we want, but it doesn't matter if we're not actually walking it out, actually living it out. And so that's what happened with me. And so throughout high school, didn't play whatsoever, and was very lukewarm. Very lukewarm. I went to church, did all the churchy things, went to youth group, had, good Christian friends, I had all that. But in reality, I didn't have a relationship with the number one that we have to have a relationship, Jesus Christ. And so I didn't have that. And because of that, I lived lukewarm. And, I wasn't even doing the works, but how many of you know that Jesus says that, in the last day, those will come to me that did all the works, they did all the works, and they'll come to me and say, "Father, didn't we do all these things in your name? Didn't we do all this stuff?" And He'll say, "Depart from me, you workers of iniquity, because I never knew you." And so that's the key. We have to know Him. We need to know Him, and not just us know Him, but Him know us. And so it's a two-way relationship. And so I didn't have that. Like I said, my relationship was with baseball. And so throughout high school, lots of people, high school is tough. It wasn't, I would say, really, really tough for me, but, anything without Jesus is tough. I'll tell you that. And so, ended up going and leaving my high school team to go play on some homeschool group my senior year, because me and the coach, we didn't get along the best, but it's okay, because there is so much to learn and grow from, just from people that just don't understand the love of Jesus and don't understand the reality of what the reality of the truth that is in Him. And so through that, I've grown a lot of patience, and praise God for that. But anyways, back to high school, senior year, I ended up going to homeschool group, ended up getting a couple offers for college, and that was my, like I said, my dream passion. I have to get to college before I get to the pros. And so I ended up going to college. Went to Wake Tech Community College. Amazing group of guys there. Really enjoyed my time there. But then again, relationship with Jesus wasn't there. It was still baseball, and it actually almost became a job for me. I loved it. I enjoyed it, but it became a job because of how deeply I desired to play in the majors. I imagined it. I dreamed it. It was my everything. It was my life. And so, long story short, ended up redshirting my freshman year of college, and then in my sophomore year, or technically, athletically, freshman year, came in, and it was this summer going into my sophomore year that I played on a summer ball league, and throughout that, we played a lot of games. We didn't have many days off at all, and there started to come up red flags. Lots of red flags, because what was happening was, through playing more baseball, and it wasn't even as much baseball as I would in season with college or in the pros, not even close. What was happening was my relationship with the Father, even though at the age of 18 it started growing, it was actually getting choked out. You know what I'm saying? Almost like in Luke 8, where Jesus is talking about the seeds in the soil. It was getting choked out because I was putting the cares of the world, the cares of baseball, over the King, over Jesus. And so what ended up happening was, this summer I saw these red flags, but I kept on telling myself, and this is a lesson for anyone listening, I kept on telling myself, no, it's I'm going to keep on going this way. I started having these thoughts of, okay, do I need to keep on going the baseball route, or do I need to think about something else? And so for everyone listening to this is for, if you have a relationship with God, and there is something that continues to come up in your mind, like you keep on pushing it off, you keep on saying, okay, no, I'm going to keep on going this way, but it keeps on coming back, I almost guarantee you it's the Lord. And so that's what happened to me, and over the span of 4 or 5 months, I kept on pushing him off. I was hearing his voice perfectly fine, and the fact that I was, hearing those parts of, stop playing ball, go this other way, but I didn't listen. And so throughout all that, I actually, in the month of October of last year, I spent a lot of time in the Word, spent a lot of quiet time, because this thought kept on coming up in my mind. Stop playing ball, there's more. And I was like, what more is there if I go play in the major leagues and use that platform? But so many times we have this mentality in our mind that we see this vision and we have this understanding of our own, but it's not God's, and God's got something so much bigger in store for us. And so month of October went by, and I'm seeing it. It's like, dude, you got to stop playing ball. And this is whenever I was starting to get better. I was starting to grow. Everything was like, my skill level was getting better. I was ready to play. But through all that, it doesn't matter how good you are at baseball. It doesn't matter how good you are at whatever you're doing. If God's got something for you and He's not in it, if He's not in what you're doing, it's going to be no good. It's going to be no good. You might get the glory and the praises of men, but that means nothing. That means nothing if you don't have a relationship with the Father, and that means nothing in general. But the only one I want to please is God. He's the only one. He's the only one we should all want to please. And so, month of October and then the first part of November, I knew the decision, but I was like, okay, Father, Thank you for giving me some confirmations. Thank you for giving me confirmations on this. Made several phone calls. It was all the same answer. It was all go for it, go for it, go for it. Not baseball. Go for. I'm gonna call it ministry, but I don't like calling it ministry because whenever I say ministry, people think religion, and so I call it living the Jesus life, going that route. Just living Jesus' life, going with whatever He's got for me. I didn't see it really well at the time, but going at whatever He's got for me other than baseball, leaving baseball, being done. And so I ended up having 3 dreams in a row, and I can kind of dive into those dreams a little bit. Still, it's amazing if you're having dreams and whatnot. If they keep on coming back up in your mind, and you're hanging out with the Lord, and you're hanging out, and reading the Word or whatnot, or just living life with Him, and these dreams keep on coming up, and like they're good dreams, and you might not understand them. I guarantee you it's from the Lord, because I can still remember these dreams clear as day, and other dreams as well, but it's because they're God dreams. They're from Him. And so, anyways, the first dream I had, I was at the baseball field that we practiced at, and I legit had this, it was like chains, like the chains that you put over a fence and like put a lock on it. I had like chains on it, like an X over my chest, and in the middle of my chest was a lock box, like one of those locks that you put on the fence. I had that over my chest, and whenever I went out to the baseball field, and whenever I went out to play and practice, that grip just kept on getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and that lock just kept on getting tighter and tighter, to where I literally couldn't move my arms, and I was trying to play baseball being locked up like that. And through that dream, He was telling me if you keep on going this route, if the more you keep on going after baseball, the more you're going to get tired. You're going to get locked up and tighter. Not in the reality that He's doing it to me, but the fact that I'm walking away from what He's got, the path that He's got paved for me. Because so many times He's got a path paved for us, but we try to go the shortcut. We try to go this other way that we think is better, but to get to this end goal that isn't even the one that God's got for us, that's so much better. And so that was happening to me. I kept on going this way, and He said, man, if you keep on going that way, it's going to keep on getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and things are not going to go the way you think at all. And so that was the first dream. Second dream, every single dream I had of baseball up until that point, I was always playing baseball on the field, just for reference. So I was always playing baseball, on the field. I was the player. Now in this dream, the second night, this 1 night, 2 night, 3 night, okay? Second night, I had this dream, and I was at a baseball stadium, but I was outside the stadium, and I was evangelizing the people. And He was like, you're not the guy that's you're not the guy that's going to be on the field. You're going to be the guy out in the streets. Guy be out in the parking lot, out in outside the stadium, spreading the good news, spreading the gospel. And then the third dream, and this one was the last one, and I'll tell you why in a second. Third dream, third night, I was back at that baseball field that we practiced at. Excuse me. And we had the whole team lined up, and playing community college baseball, everybody wants to go on to the next level. Nobody wants to stay, in community college. So everybody was naming their D1 schools that they wanted to go to or whatnot. And so as we were going down this line, it was almost like I was there, but I was at the end of the line. It was weird, hard to explain, but I was going down the line, and everybody was saying where they wanted to go, what D1 school they wanted to go to. And then it got to me. I said, man, I don't even want to go D1. I want to go to the majors. I want to go pro. And then right as soon as I said that, it was like a brick wall hit me. Like smack, like in my dream I felt it, and it was like, are you sure you really want to do that? Is that the route that you really want to go? And I woke up and I was like, man, no, I don't want that anymore. I don't want baseball anymore. That isn't my true passion, my true drive, my true desire. It's relationship with the Father and what He's got for me. And so I woke up and I was like, okay, because us humans, we're like, man, let me get as many confirmations as I possibly can. And so I wake up and I'm like, okay, Lord, one more confirmation. my coach, he sends out every Monday they're called Monday motivations, Monday motivation or whatever it is, and they're little texts that are like just motivational, to keep us going, to keep us moving forward and whatnot, through the group chat. And so my coach, he had no clue at all that these thoughts and whatnot were going through my head about stopping playing baseball. And I'll go and read it to you, but he sent out this Monday motivational text, and it says this. It says, "Many people have a hard time making decisions because they don't know what is important. When you have a clear mission and you are completely sure what is important to you, most decisions become easy. Once you're fully committed, you don't need rules for how to spend your time." And I'll dive into that here in a second. But it's obvious which decision to make. It's clear what to prioritize. Many people don't need productivity or time management advice. They need conviction. And so why I pointed out that you don't need rules. You don't need rules for how to spend your time, is so many people try to make up these rules or these limitations for how to spend your time. And it's crazy, because I went to school, I had baseball, I had all these limitations to my time, and I was like, man, Lord, if these things weren't here. And it's funny, because I always told people, I was like, if I didn't play baseball, I would go spread the gospel. I would go spread the good news, like through preaching or whatnot, through being a minister, as you could say. I told everyone that. And it was like I always had this limitation, these rules to my time, but I wasn't seeing it that baseball was that limitation. And so I was like, okay, Lord, I'm done. And how many of you know that God is just so good and he just wants to give you more? So I was added into a certain group chat, prophetic group chat, literally that weekend, and there was a text sent out, and I'll kind of summarize it, but in short, they were saying, whatever God is telling you to do right now, go after it wholeheartedly. And this was like the most random text, but it was actually sent the same day that was sent, that the text, Monday motivation text. It was November 6th. Never forget the day. And it was crazy, because this is another cool thing. Being in love with the game, being so after and getting after the game, I would always walk around my house and have these thoughts about like baseball and whatnot. And I would be practicing baseball, like practicing my swing, practicing fielding, practicing running, practicing throwing, like every part of baseball. I would be walking around the house doing that, practicing and training. In November 6th, the day that I stopped, I had zero thoughts of that. Zero, like none whatsoever. Zero desire to go practice. Zero desire to like do anything baseball. And that was the first day that I've had that in years. And it was nothing but God. And so then I ended up stopping playing baseball in November, and it's been nothing but I don't even know how to explain it, like a speed boost. I hopped in a speed boost, like, thinking I'm just been flying with my relationship with the Lord and everything that he's been bringing me through and to, the connections, the relationships, the opportunities, the people that have been impacted by God, Jesus flowing through me, and it's just been incredible. And I know it's just the beginning. And so I say all that, like I said, for y'all to get to know me, but also because I want y'all to catch this for yourselves. It might not be baseball, it might not be sports, but I know lots of people have these thoughts and these desires that the Lord has put in them, but they haven't gone after them because they have rules and they have limitations to their time. They say, oh, well, if I didn't have this, I would go do this. Or they say, if in my circumstances, my situation wasn't like this right now, I would go actually walk out this. And I want to encourage you, because lots of the times it takes you stopping the thing that you might love in the moment to actually pursue God and pursue what he's got for you, which is 10,000 times better, I promise you, than what you're doing right now. And it might not look the best in finances, it might not look best in circumstances. You probably will lose relationships because of it. I have, and many people have. But let me tell you, it's a narrow road that leads to life, and it's a wide road that leads to death. So choose the narrow road. Choose the way that God's got for you, because He's got so much in store. And a little bit just of what the vision that I see for my life and what God's got in store for me for the future. I believe that I'm wanting to do a lot of this ministry through video, through YouTube, through all this podcast, different stuff. But I also just want to live the Jesus life. Not want to, I'm going to, and no one's stopping me. I'm wanting to, and I'm getting after it every single day. And so just doing that, I know there's going to be so many people that are impacted. And I encourage each and every single one of you, no matter where you're at, you don't have to be full-time ministry, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're at, live the Jesus life. Each and every single one of us can do it. Now, there are going to be things that we have to give up to be able to go after that. But each and every single one of us can live out the Jesus life, no matter where we're at, no matter what circumstances we're going through. But it takes knowing Him and Him knowing you. So get to know Him, have a relationship with Him, grow with Him, walk with Him every single day. All right, y'all. That's going to be it for this episode. Next episode is going to be a juicy topic, and we're going to be can be thinking about it. Going to be diving into, is God in control? So catch y'all next time. Love you guys. See ya.